What's going on, all? Thanks for tuning in once again. Let's talk Joshua versus Franklin. Okay, it's a late recap of that fight. Before I start, obviously, happy Easter. I hope everyone has a great Easter. And, blessings to everyone. But in terms of the actual fight, listen, I've got to say that I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was expecting a knockout. Joshua coming back from back-to-back losses against Usyk, throwing single shots, unable to take out Usyk. I thought that he would definitely learn from that. But in this case, it didn't seem that way. Now he does have a new trainer, Derek James, all-star Derek James you can call him. He trains Charlo and Spence, who currently are the champions. And you're expecting great things from AJ. You're expecting him to really engage. Now, I was watching this fight thinking, wow, Franklin really does have a chance here in that first round. In that first round, he manages to make Joshua bleed. He manages to distract Joshua, by getting his nose with the right hand. And, Joshua's really thinking about that throughout the whole fight. You see him always touching his nose. This was the perfect chance for Franklin to really go for it. Now, I wasn't just disappointed in Joshua, I was also disappointed in Franklin. He had a chance as well to really go for it. Like I said, he hurt him, or he bothered him in the first round, I should say. Bothered him enough to really target the body, but Franklin was going more for the head. And Joshua, he had a great jab, I'll give him that. He also managed to, survive box the full 12 without, getting too gassed, which was good to see. A lot of people, including Franklin's corner, was saying, listen, this guy can't last that long. He can't keep up this pace. But the pace that Joshua was giving was single shots. He wasn't really following up. He was tying Franklin up. He wasn't really busy inside the pocket. He wasn't busy during the clinches, which is not a good look at all. It's not a good look at all for him. Now, he is trying to fight Wilder and Fury. He's basically called them both out. And the question here, is he ready? Okay, is he ready? And, Eddie Hearn's saying no. A lot of people are saying, no, he's not ready. He needs one more fight. But at the end of the day, listen, he's been champion for a very long time. I know that he recently lost the bout, but he's fought most styles. He's fought top competition. He's fought Klitschko. He's fought Povetkin, White, you name it. He's fought a lot of the top 10. Now, I know that there's a lot of new faces now. We got Joyce, Dubois, Fury, and Usyk, okay? They pretty much came at a later stage. When Joshua was at the top, those guys wasn't around, and he fought top opposition when he was up there, although they were in their 40s or, or late 30s, you could say. He still fought them all, okay? He still only just lost to that one fighter, which was Ruiz, and then he lost to Usyk, which was the second fighter in recent times. So, how many more fights do you want him to have before he starts fighting these big names? Okay, you got to understand, he had the perfect opportunity to fight Wilder at the top. When he was champion, Wilder was champion. They both had a chance to make an undisputed fight, and that didn't happen. Now we're faced with Wilder with the loss. He lost his bout. Joshua lost his bout. So the only fight that really makes sense to me is AJ versus Wilder, okay? They both have new trainers. They both understand, listen, I've got to change things around. They both now have a win under their name. And that's what training camps are for. You bring sparring partners in, and you can sort of, figure out what you're best at. With Joshua, I believe he's best at engaging, for going for it. We haven't seen that from AJ in a long time, since he lost to Ruiz. We've seen him hurt a fighter, and then, hey, listen, let's just give him a couple of rounds to recover here. It's all good. I'm winning the fight anyway. He may land something on me. I don't want to get too confident. We see that sort of Joshua where he backs off. He overthinks things. After this fight, he's saying, listen, why couldn't I finish Klitschko so early? I punched myself. I overthrew my punches. Why couldn't I finish Kubrat Pulev? Because, he's just a strong man. He's overthinking things where in the past he will just go for it until he knocks the guy out. He needs to find that mode. He needs to not be too hesitant of getting hit. And like I say, learn how to roll the punches, hold the hand up here to protect yourself when you're engaging inside the pocket. And also, with the clinches, he's got to free his hands up. He's got to let his hands go. You can't just hold a guy. Let's wait for him to get outside of the pocket so I can use my reach. And I'm just going to throw single shots because I know I'm a powerhouse. When he comes after me, I'll just hold him. That's not really ideal for Tyson Fury, for Joe Joyce, for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's a guy that he needs space to generate the knockout power, to generate the knockout blow, I should say. Tyson Fury, he's very busy inside the pocket. Joe Joyce, he will keep constantly coming at you. So although that worked with Franklin, it may work with other small heavyweights. It's not going to work with a Deontay Wilder, a Tyson Fury, a Joe Joyce, and now, obviously Alexander Usyk. That's not going to work. He's got to engage inside the pocket. And mainly, he's got to be confident inside the pocket. He's lost that completely. He fought Ruiz, a guy that got him on the side of the head. He put Ruiz down for the first time in his career. He gets tagged from a shot, and I believe he uses equilibrium. All of a sudden, he's very hesitant to go back into the pocket in the next fight. Very hesitant, I should say. And he's got to get out of that mentality that maybe that was just a lucky punch. I've taken shots from Klitschko. Why can't I take shots today? You got to give shots and take shots. Obviously the goal is to hit and not get hit. But if you're hitting harder than the other guy, in most cases Joshua is, you've got more of a chance of putting the other guy down. But he's got to use his strengths. He's got to come forward. Joshua, I believe, is not going to do well going backwards against the taller heavyweights, as well as Alexander Usyk, the only other guy in the division that's as mobile as it can get. He's a very mobile fighter. He moves around, and that'll only work for so long. I think that Joshua needs to fight Wilder next. We can't stall this out for too long. I think the Joshua-Tyson Fury fight may not happen. Eddie Hearn's made that clear that he's not ready for Wilder and Fury, but you got to understand, Wilder and Joshua, similar circumstances, similar position, both got their first win with their new trainer. It only makes sense for the fans, for Joshua versus Wilder. Maybe Joshua can have, a couple of boxers coming to his training camp and coming after him, and Joshua needs to find that switch and engage and be the finisher that he used to be, okay? With Wilder, I'm still a bit on the fence of, can he take punches anymore? How's his punch resistance after the Fury fights? We saw him knock out Helenius. We saw him on the back foot a lot. We saw him get the knockout shot, but, he's got to stay away from the ropes. And, like I say, if Joshua's not busy inside the pocket, Wilder will knock him out. So Joshua needs to be busy inside the pocket. He needs to really train and be confident and find that, that finishing style that he used to have. And I think he can do that within the next training camp. He's got his confidence up. He's got the win with the new trainer. Now he should have a better relationship, and hopefully he listens. I understand he's going back to Texas to train again. So hopefully he takes things on board and he understands that, he's got to snap out of this being on the back foot, using my reach. He needs to really go for it. That's the sort of fighter Joshua's always been to me, the finisher. But that's my take on it anyway. I was disappointed with both fighters. I thought Franklin could have been more busier. He could have definitely went for it in the early stages of the fight. When Joshua first, had that nosebleed, he could have really went for it. But at the end of the day, Joshua done enough. The jab was probably the best highlight of the fight. I want to see more. Look forward to the comments. Thanks for stopping in. And obviously, if you're new, hit the red button. And I'll catch you next time. Peace. Have a good one.